Kakadosh Boker Tov, we're continuing with the halachot of the 3 weeks. If you remember, a few days ago we mentioned halacha that we do not say Shehehiyanu throughout the entire 3 weeks. Now the question is, what about on Shabbat? So listen to this, which is very interesting, right? When it speaks about Shabbat, the Sefer Hasidim brings down that some people do make Shehehiyanu on a new fruit if it comes out during the Shabbatot between the Shiva Asar B'Tammuz and Tisha B'Av. And that's what the Matei Moshe brings out. You could be Mekel, the Levush, Knesset Gdula, the Liyarabah, Kisuch Gazfri, the Chayadam, the Mishnah Brura, the Birkei Yosef, the Rav Chida brings in the name of the Mami Fano, it's Mutar, except for Tisha B'Av that comes out on Shabbat. So therefore, other than the last Shabbat this time, which is actually Tisha B'Av in itself, so other than that Shabbat, it says that Mami Fano, Rabbi Menachem Azariah Mifano, that it's going to be permitted. Rabbi Yehuda Yash comes and brings down that the Minhag of Arjila was also, right, that they used to have the Minhag to be Mekel to do it. However, though, so then why don't we do it? So the reason why we don't do it is because based upon the Arizal HaKadosh. Arizal HaKadosh, and it's brought down in the Magen Avraham, Matei Yehuda, the Yavet, Samuruksia, and others as well, the Rav Chida and others, they say that we don't do it. Now the question is, why not? If it's because of Avelut, we know that there's no Avelut on Shabbat, right? And that's why on the Shabbat of Tisha B'Av in itself, other than certain things which might be private, which we'll speak about, which is basically learning and things like that, you're allowed to have a big Suda. You're not allowed to put on clothing of the Tisha B'Av before the time, even though there was a minhag that we'll speak about later on about not wearing Shabbat clothing on Shabbat Chazon. But there was a whole meaning that there's no Avelut on Shabbat. So if there's no Avelut on Shabbat, so why not? So he says it's not because of Avelut, but rather because of Etzem Azman, meaning only because of the time in itself. It's not because we're showing that we're mourning, but rather it's the time right now which is not appropriate, but not because of Avelut. And that's what's brought down also the Mekubar Rabbi Chaim HaKohen, Rabbi Chaim Falache, and others as well. So therefore also the Alei Adas brings down that the minhag of the Tunisians was to be Machmir as well. The Brit Kiuna brings out that was minhag of Jerba also. Naguam says that was a minhag also in Morocco, as it's brought down in Kinot Avotenu and Netivot HaMaharav. And therefore, which is very interesting, that means we're going like the Arizal HaKadosh, that just like, since it's not an appropriate time to do so, it's not because of the morning, it's just because this is not the proper time. And therefore, once we do that, we do not make the Shehehiyanu on a new fruit, even during these Shabbatot, from Shiva Asar B'Tammuz until the Tisha B'Av.